Hey guys, so I just want to make a quick video because Jagex is basically obviously updating the beta constantly. But today, possibly yesterday by the time this video is actually online, on the 4th of July regardless, anyway, Jagex has made a lot of changes to the beta. Now, this is only posted in the beta section of the forums, which is the beta news and general combat discussion section, and you have to be logged in to see this section, and you only can see it if you've actually got beta access, which it's weird that they didn't post it on the where is it, can I say it on here, I don't know, the combat beta section of the website that they created. I figured they'd be posting everything there, but I checked there and there's literally nothing on there. It really makes it really doesn't make much sense for them just to post it on the forums. I guess they only, I don't know why they'd only want to show people that have actually got beta access. But anyway, obviously we're providing a lot of feedback, and a lot of this has been taken into account in this section. And I thought, I didn't even know about this until just now. I haven't been on the beta, and obviously, so I didn't see the update timer there. And yeah, so there is information here, and I know a lot of people that have beta access probably don't even know about this. I know a lot of people that I've just been speaking to didn't even know about it, and there's quite a lot of changes, and also obviously people that don't have beta access won't know about it at all really. But I'm just going to go over some of the main changes. There's some big ones that could be very helpful. Now, there's a new cape and jewellery beta shop added, which isn't too big of an issue. But that means if you don't have capes and jewellery in the beta, you now can get them. Carol's ammo is now in the beta shops if you wanted to use a Carol's bow. This is the first biggest change. Now, players killing NPCs on a Slayer target should get full combat XP from killing the NPC, regardless of the level/difficulty difference. So obviously, if you've been paying attention to the beta, then you'll notice that your XP isn't full if you're killing something that's way below your level. So like basically you don't get experience from killing a low level target. It's just like in real life really. If you were fighting something that you could just kill without a sweat, you're not going to get any experience from it, are you? You only get experience from fighting something tough. Which is, I kind of think that's how it should be. So I kind of agree with that. I see the reasons for them doing it, and it makes sense. It forces you to actually try to train your combat rather than just AFK some easy monster. But anyway, yeah, on Slayer you're going to get full XP, which makes sense because they don't want you to cancel certain tasks because you don't get any XP. Parade range should drain now as expected because it was draining a lot faster than before. I think he said should drain as expected, but he kind of means they've re-added prayer bonus into onto all the armors and things. And I will have a quick look in game to show you that after I finish reading through this. Movement/metamorphosis abilities cannot be used while holding the banner in Castle Wars. Now this is because a lot of people were complaining about Castle Wars, saying that it was too easy to score because you could just use some defensive abilities. And yeah, so quite a few things have been changed that they couldn't really be, couldn't get it so easily. And also the banner gives negative armor. I think it's probably the only item in the game that has negative armor, making the flag runner easier to hit. Adrenaline is now only lost on PvP target switching in the wilderness. I'm guessing that, I didn't actually know about this issue, but I'm guessing if you have fought something in the wilderness, like a second black demon, and then switched to another black demon, is there even black demons in the wilderness? No, there's not, but you get the point. Then you'd lose your adrenaline. I'm guessing that was the issue. Now it's only if you're switching between people targets. God War's kill count is reduced to 10. Now, I'm sure you knew about this. They changed this not today actually, they changed this the other day. I think this is because kill counts were taking too long. I know the Bando's kill count took a long time. Armor kill count actually wasn't too bad because I have been to Armadale. I haven't tried the other ones, but I think they just want to reduce the issue of not being able to get back to your grave, and that's definitely helpful. 10 it's to keep the issue there that you've actually got a kill count, but it's not so much that it's a massive endeavour. Damage over time effects should now not hit NPCs so you don't have to slay level to wound, which is just a little bug fix. These are like, some of these things are like in such things that have been in the patch notes on the real update. This is kind of what this is. It's just so, this is like just telling us bugs that they have fixed so that we don't keep telling them about them, etc. There's been quite a lot of feedback on NPCs such as black demons and many Slayer creatures, and they've reduced their life points to bring the kill times to where they expect because they were taking too long to kill. Basically, you could be on a black demon task for a long time because they had such high LP. And thinking about black demons, I can't wait for that Chaos Tunnels update where you can see that where they had the graphics update. You've seen it in one of the beta videos. Although Slayer's going to be pretty fun. Imagine having a cannon in Tavily Dungeon for your black demons, and it's going to be multi-combat, and you can just hit everything. You can use a Steel Titan. It's going to be so much fun. And the next point is just a bit of a glitching failure with like clipping and disappearing, etc. with the sheathing, because obviously a massive engine update, and then when you did things like light a fire it would interrupt things. and make things disappear. You can now switch gear freely as quickly as you like, because this seemed to be a glitch. Like, I know when I was in Dungeoneering, I was trying to switch some items. I was like wearing like my primal plate and things, and obviously I had some other armor in my inventory. I wanted to switch to like ranging gear, and it wouldn't let me switch. It said I had a cooldown before I could put new armor on, basically. But the cooldowns are only meant to apply to the abilities, so that you can't just switch gear and use your next ultimate immediately. So on, like, you can't get an ultimate level using melee, then switch to range and use your ultimate straight away. You're gonna have a 2-second penalty, so that your opponent will know about this. Not so much of a deal in PPM though. Rare items are now untradeable in beta world. Flowers will always be red. The seal element will always show seal 1. Why will they not do this on the real game? No, obviously not about the rare items, but flowers and seal emote. The amount of people that stand in the G and go, flower game, flower game. If they just did that in the real game, then it'd be fine. But, I mean, I know some flowers actually use as familiar pouches. That's the issue, isn't it? But they've got to do something like this on the real game. I mean, seal would be fine to just show 1 all the time. I mean, seal does nothing. But I don't know why they've really done that on the beta. I mean, I know there was a lot of people at the G just doing this. And I've seen the rare items to stop people like hoarding crackers, because I know you've probably seen videos of like 100 crackers being opened. It's because you could just import them from your account, trade them over to your friend, import another one, and you could just keep items that fast. Bunyip now it does a percentage heal rather than absolute value, and I believe this percentage is 2%. So if you had 100 HP, you'd heal 2 every 15 seconds, which is going to be quite interesting. I mean, it might make it a bit better than it currently is. 2%, I'm not sure how... If you got 10,000 LP, you're going to heal 200 every 15 seconds? That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. NPC versus NPC wasn't working as expected. Things that are meant to be immune to familiars, such as certain bosses, were incorrectly taking damage. Okay, nice fail by Mod Crystal there. We're incorrectly taking damage. Nice grammar fail. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people solo Nex with Steel Titans, because Steel Titan hits on Nex, and I assume this is stopping Steel Titan hitting on Nex. I haven't actually been to Nex since this. I haven't had a look, but I will probably at some point, because they've changed quite a few things. As you can see, there's a boss update on Nex coming up in a paragraph shortly. A mechanic that powers the tanking abilities was not working correctly. And some NPCs got stuck hunting the wrong target. So I'm sure you've seen videos of Corp where there's like somebody attacking Corp and then they'd leave the room and Corp would stay on them because they dealt so much damage. Like, I know if you don't know that Corp actually tanks on who's actually doing like the most damage. So when you're using like an ultimate ability and you do a shit ton of damage, it doesn't tank the other person until like they've done a similar amount of damage, which is quite ridiculous, and they've changed that. However, I'm not sure obviously how it's going to tank. I mean, it might tank on a similar sort of thing. But they mentioned later in the next section that the ability is called Insight and stuff, and Provoke, that encourage the monster you're fighting to tank you. That's mainly aimed at future bosses, because they want to release future bosses in the future that'll be like you have to have different rules. If you go without someone that's planning to be the tanker, or someone that's planning to, I don't think they said there's going to be a healer rule, but like tankers and attackers sort of thing, and different rules possibly. If you don't go to the bosses, they'll be really hard without that. And obviously, if you think back to Bando's on its first release, he used to have like a governance tanker. He went in separate gear just so that he could tank and last tanking the boss to make sure the other people survive. This is what they're trying to aim for again, and that'll be a very good... I like that. It was really clever. Obviously, Bandos are so easy now, it's just stupid to do that. But on Next, it might be more useful. So you can encourage it to tank you. Now, I might release a video in the next few days of how I'm currently duoing Nex, because lately I've done tons of duos on Nex, and it's actually using like a Steel Titans and just a Unicorn from me, and the other person tanks. Now these abilities might help that quite a lot, because sometimes it'll just go on me and I'll take a lot of damage, and despite not having that many brews on my invent, sometimes it can be a bit of an issue. And also the last point to note is that you can no longer generate adrenaline through defensive abilities outside of combat. So I'm sure you've seen Simon's video where he was like generating adrenaline not even in combat by just using defensive abilities. You can't do this now. If you're in combat and use them, you will gain adrenaline, I assume, if you're actually in combat. But I haven't tested it. I assume you will, because it'd be stupid not to. But the one thing to note is that I'm sure using the defensive abilities out of combat still keep your adrenaline bar at. I'm sure it keeps you in combat, but keeps your bar at exactly what it currently is. just like the way I've been using Insight, which is a HP one, which you can use infinitely because it has no cooldown, and it'll just keep you about what it is. Now, there's a major paragraph on Nex here, and I'm sure you've seen how piss easy it is, and basically they've just changed the issues, made it a lot harder. They've also updated her mechanics to make her as potent as you'd expect. So basically, she wasn't dealing much damage, so they've changed the mechanic, and now she should deal a lot more damage. And if you return to Nex this week, expect her to be much more adaptive, clever at giving chase and controlling her damage intake, as well as being reactive to it. So basically Nex has changed an awful lot. I'm sure the tactics, some of the lures that I do in the duo, which I'll probably show you in a couple of days, like you'll use some clever lures that makes Nex jump around, stops you from taking melee damage, and I have a feeling some of these are going to be changed a lot. And I'm going to actually go and test it out at some point in the beta, and that should be a very interesting thing to try. I mean, they're going to change the tactics of Nex. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot harder than it is currently now, because luring is going to be more difficult. And also the last thing to mention is what I mentioned before, is that the Insight and Provoke mechanics work properly now, and the first boss to work fully on, and Nex now fully supports it. It's the first boss that currently supports it for 100%. Basically, it starts with noting that Nex's hunting mechanics has changed. So obviously Nex tanks a certain person. Now, obviously that means it concentrates its attacks on a certain person. But like, it can only melee one person at a time. But its major attack will hit everyone. Now, obviously, the issue here is that currently in game, like if somebody wears lower gear armor, they'll be the tank. Now, how this is going to affect it in the new system, I do not know. It's definitely going to be worth finding out. It's going to be new tactics for Nex, I assume. It's going to be very different. Like, I know a lot of the other bosses are pretty easy now, but they seem to have made Nex a lot more difficult. Obviously, it was really easy on release, but after J-Mod saw people solo and duo really piss easily like they weren't expecting, well, they've definitely stepped up on that one. That's definitely going to be interesting to see. And also there's a few ability changes. Now, these are not too big. Overpower cooldown is now 30 seconds from 1 minute. A lot of went down from 1 minute to 30 seconds, basically like the weaker ones. A lot of the defensive abilities have been changed a little bit. Like Rejuvenate and Immortality now require a shield. That's just to encourage you to use a shield more, but in general you can just take a shield in your invent, switch to it when you want to. Obviously you'll have a 2-second cooldown, however. The other thing is Freedom can now be used while stunned, because Freedom, what I said it did was free you from a stun if you're currently stunned, or prevent you from being stunned for 6 seconds. However, you couldn't use abilities while stunned, and it included that one, which is pretty retarded, but it's sorted now. Rejuvenate now heals 40% total life points over time, down from 50%, which isn't too much. I don't know why they do that. And also Immortality's had its cooldown increased to 2 minutes. I'm not sure what it was before, probably a minute. A few magic ones have been changed, because I noticed a lot of the magic abilities were pretty weak. I know I had a quick trip to Glaciers, I was suddenly like struggling on the second form after you had left the explosive one last, and it'd keep healing because I couldn't deal enough damage. Now Detonate charge speed has been doubled, because I noticed that was really weak. Metamorphosis now gives 50% damage output instead of 25%. Now, Metamorphosis is the one where you change the elemental character, and you'll be them for like 20 seconds, and previously you had 25% damage output increased over that 20 seconds, and now, however, it's 150% you'll be on. So instead of dealing a 100, you'll deal 150, and previously it would have been 125. So that's a major increase, and that's going to make Metamorphosis a lot more powerful. And also the other ability, Omnipower, is now a 30-second cooldown down from 1 minute, which I was using on Glaciers quite a lot, and I found that was really powerful. However, Metamorphosis seems like it's going to be a lot more useful there. Now, there's a couple of range ones changed. The Dead Shot has cooled down now cooldowns in 30 seconds rather than a minute. That's the weakest range ultimate. And Ricochet has had its line of sight issues resolved that prevented its use in certain environments. Now I imagine that's just things like walls being in the way. It couldn't go like over the wall. I'm guessing it's that sort of thing. I'm not really sure, but that's all there is to mention. However, there's one little bit that's saying that Modcrisel said that they provide another thread for more information on Nex. However, I can't find this thread anywhere. It doesn't seem to be stickied anywhere. I've had like a quick look down all the stickies, and I can't really find any on Nex. So I've had a quick look. I've even went on Modcrisel's posts, and even this one doesn't even show. So I'm assuming the beta ones don't just don't show on their account. I'm not sure, but anyway, I hope you guys found that information useful. And I'm going to take a quick look in game at the new prayer bonuses and the changes to the Onyx ring. Did it mention the Onyx ring in there? I know they changed it. I'm not sure, did they change it in there? I'm not sure, but they did add the Onyx abilities. I'll give the Onyx some stats. Did I just completely miss it? Or is this on the other thread? Right, there's also a patch notes thread. I'll have a quick look at that for you guys. Right, yeah, there's a few changes in here that aren't mentioned in the other thread, which I thought there would be. Yeah, so this is where it says Bunyips will now heal 2%. Oh no, a Swallow Whole ability will heal 2%. Pernix gloves have been buffed to match the other gloves, like Torva gloves and Virtus gloves, I assume. And the Onyx High has been reworked for the use in the new combat system. The Onyx Ring has no stats and remain the same. Healing via Soul Split has been capped to 250 heals per hit, which seems very low, I'm not going to lie. Seems Soul Split has been reduced in usefulness. The following prayer boosting altars are now working correctly, just a few changes. There's one that I wanted to see. Glacier boots have now correctly statted and are now better than the Torva and Pernix boots and Virtus boots. So now to use your Rage Fire Glaive and Steadfast are good again. I know Jagex already said this would be changed. And also another thing isn't mentioned here, that Zarite and the Crystal Bow had incorrect stats and been bumped up. So Zarite may be a lot better bow now, and it's definitely going to be worth checking out there. However, I'm going to take a quick look in game now at the prayer bonuses and see what things have got them and what haven't. Right, so I'm now logged on the beta, and I'm going to have a quick look. I've got my Comcape on. Let's see. Prayer bonus, it says 13 prayer bonus, so that's pretty cool. What other items had prayer bonus? Divine, that has 3 prayer bonus. I'm not sure what that was in the real game. Fury had prayer bonus. No prayer bonus on the Fury, that's... Nothing else has prayer bonus here. I know that's an aura, so... what about Glory? Glory had prayer bonus. I know Fury did as well. I wonder if they'll re-add that. Oh, nothing on Fury. Oh, Glory even. Nothing on Amulet of Ranging. What else had it? Arcane Stream. Right, so all the Spirit Shields give the same. I haven't got a Spectral here, but I assume it's the same. It would make sense for it to be. It doesn't really seem like anything's got prayer bonus. Oh, God Swords have 8 prayer bonus. I think they had prayer bonus before. I assume it's common sense for them to have prayer bonus. Even a Saradomin Cape doesn't have prayer bonus. I'm sure that did before. Helm of Nate has 3 prayer bonus. I'm sure that did before as well. Tokal Calus 2, Star Wars Capes are 12. Max Cape is 10. I think that's just the same as what it was before, and Fire Cape's 2. Nothing on Spirit Cape. Falador Shield has 7, that's pretty not bad at all. Karamja Gloves has 4 armor and 4 life point boosts, but they didn't give it to the other ones. That's smart, Jagex. Anyway, right, let's check these rings then. Right. Ooh, they've reduced the powerfulness of the Berserker ring, imbued anyway. Before it was a 3.2% melee range and mage crit, now it's only 2.7%, and also it's got armor. Now it didn't have armor before, so it's got 100 armor now. Right, Onyx ring, I've got one in my invent. It's worse! Wow. Look, 2.5% in all, and 90 armor. That is worse than a Berserker ring high. That is... How can that be? Alright, I'm sure they'll change that. It doesn't really make much sense for Onyx Ring Eye to be worse than the Berserker Eye. And don't go and buy out a shit ton of Berserker rings, because I'm quite positive they're not going to leave Onyx being worse. Also, as I mentioned, they've made Steadfast better than Torva Boots. So as you can see, Steadfast has 340 armor and 382 life bonus. Torva Boots are only 323, 60. So that's a pretty big change, and it makes me think, why did they bother with releasing Torva Boots? I'm going to have a quick tally to Lumbridge and take a look at the Zarite Bow and take a look at the stats, because it might be quite good. Well, the first thing I've gone and done is got a few rings from the guy. Now, I've got the Seer's Ring Eye, Warrior Ring Eye, and the Archer's Ring Eye. These all give 3% in their corresponding sections, and then Berserker Eye is 2.7% with some armor. So I think Berserker Eye is effectively what the Onyx used to be. And now, if I look at the Onyx again, I got a regular Berserker Ring. Regular Berserker Ring is the same as an Onyx Eye, which is dumb. And also then you've got a Dragonstone Eye, which is the same as an Onyx Ring Eye with 10 less armor. So the only difference between a Decent Eye and an Onyx Eye is armor, which that seems stupid. Also you got a Lunar Ring Eye, which gives it gives like the mage corresponding part of the Berserker Eye pretty much. Anyway, the next thing to get is to get the Zarite Bow. Now I'm sure they have Zarite Bow on here. It makes sense for them to have Zarite Bow on here. Do they have Zarite Bow on here? There we go. Right, let's take a look at this thing. Right, so it's got 672 damage, hit bonus 800. It's got fast hit bit. Oh, it doesn't have an LP boost. Let's drop that. Let's wield this. Check charges. I'm going to compare this to like a CC bow and have a quick look at that. I know this video's gone on for ages now, I do apologise. Right, so what I've done is I've set myself up with a shield for ranging, however, because I know using an offhand Kieren crossbow is probably going to be a bit overpowered. So I'm just using an Ellie shield, which is the range set for the range spirit shield. And as you can see, it says damage 441, 800 hit bonus with a 10.1% crit, which is like for my other stuff. I could use a ranging Ami, however, well, I should probably use a ranging Ami because Fury is going to be pretty much crap unless you're going to be hybriding. Let's get a ranging Ami. There we go. And now it's a... Wait, my total crit went down? Right, that doesn't make much sense. Why does that only say that? That doesn't make much sense at all. Wait, where's my Fury gone? Did I bank my Fury? So for some reason, when I put a Fury on... Oh, Fury does have prayer bonus, look at that! It goes up 5 when I put a Fury on! It just isn't added to the interface. Look at that, prayer bonus 21. When I put that on, it doesn't. Right, so it seems Fury also somehow has a massive crit when it doesn't say it does. This should go up by... It doesn't add the Amulet of Ranging's crit to this. So it seems really glitched, but I'm going to put Fury on for that. Weird. Anyway, equip a Zarite Bow, which is obviously a two-handed bow, and damage goes to 771 for 800. And if I put this back on, it's only 441. However, if I put the offhand one on, you see I get 441, but twice. Now, the offhand I think is meant to do half. I'm not sure. I think. So, I think it's going to add up to about the same amount of damage with Onyx Bolts. However, with Zarite, you don't have a shield either. But I think Zarite's going to be pretty powerful now in comparison to what it used to be. It's definitely going to be worth testing out because Ruby Bolts aren't overpowered really like they used to be. Anyway, that's pretty interesting. And also it seems that a lot of the interface is glitched. So anyway, obviously these are bug fixes that need to be done and should be sorted before the actual release of the update. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Sorry this video went on a bit long.